Hey there, good morning. It is 7:30 on this Wednesday, November 13th. Thanks for being with us on News 6 Plus and clickorlando.com for Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm your host, Bridgett Ellison, getting you ready for the day. We're going to take a look at weather, traffic, some top headlines. We also have a live interview this morning about the Festival of Trees. So I don't know about you, but it's time for me to get the decorations out, dust them off. And so if you like to go look at other people's decorations, these are some designer trees that you can go check out. It's for a great cause, and it's a big annual event here around Orlando. So we'll get some info on all the festivities with Festival of Trees in a little bit. But first, let's get into the Pinpoint Weather Center with Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. And so we don't have a crystal ball, but we're just enjoying the present nice weather and also keeping an eye on something like a week from now.
Yeah. All right. At the end of the day, we're still hurricane season, right? November 30th officially is the end. Would this be the latest November storm out there? No, we actually had one as late as about November 22nd or so, and that was Hurricane Kate back in the 80s in the Panhandle. So let's just kind of put it where it kind of belongs on the timeline. This is going to be more of a concern possibly by the middle of next week. What is it going to look like? Where is it exactly going to go? How strong will it be? All that's still yet to be decided, although a lot of the models are favoring some sort of a Florida impact as early as Tuesday, as late as about Thursday of next week. So let's take step number one. The weather is going to be fantastic throughout the weekend. This would be the big story if we weren't talking tropics, but unfortunately, we've got to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in the weather department, right? So let's take it to the weather headlines, Bridgett, so you can see what we're talking about here. A gradual cool down that begins already today as temperatures will be staying in the low 80s. We're going to have another cold front that's going to come through Thursday and into Friday, and that's going to bring us kind of another wave of even cooler air, even drier air. And that come Saturday and Sunday is going to be making it in for a beautiful weekend. Temperatures will stay in the 70s. Our coolest morning will be Saturday morning. We'll be waking up into those 50s and 60s.
I'm sorry.
And then we're going to continue to see the tropics and really watching for that Invest 99L. Now, let me show you first. Let's talk all local, okay? So today, maybe an isolated shower possible along our coastline. It will be a breezy day. Temperatures still running slightly above average. Then here comes front number 2. That comes in on Thursday and Friday. And as that clears Central Florida, we can't rule out the chance of a little shower or two, but that's really going to drag in even more drier air, cooler air as well, with highs down into the 70s for your weekend. Unfortunately, that same front is also what's going to help scoop up that area in the Caribbean and start its progress further into the Northern Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico by next week. So for today, 81 degrees. That's a light breezy day, average afternoon overall. But you can see your temperature trend. Thursday, Friday, we'll be staying still above average. Not too bad, though. And then as we head into Saturday and Sunday, that's when temperatures will clock down to those mid-70s. And as of now, it looks like the coolest day will be Sunday, but the coolest morning will actually be Saturday morning with those wake-up temperatures. You can see there 50s and 60s inland, maybe a few 70s there even along your coastline. So let's widen out the view. This graphic did not update for some reason. It is now a 90% chance of potential development for both 2 to 7 days. That just updated about 30 minutes ago. This area is pretty much going to be a guaranteed named storm that is going to be Sarah. So we're calling it soon to be Sarah. As this system, though, computer models, it was designated as an invest yesterday afternoon, which is now the reason why we are getting those routine computer model runs. So we're going to continue to get those, as well as routine. We'll have more routine missions from hurricane hunters. They're expected to go in there, at least leave to go investigate the system more at about 10 o'clock this morning. Most of our computer models for this time of the process of the system, they're pretty good agreement as of now. All of them kind of showing it kind of lingering across the open waters, the Caribbean, gaining that strength. Looks like a lot of land interaction at this point in time when it comes to the latest model runs, which is not good news for Central America and Yucatan, but it's good news for us because that is going to be favoring more of a weaker storm. So let me show you kind of the two different scenarios we've got to work with as of now. Scenario 1 is what a lot of the models are favoring. Again, as of the latest model run, showing more land interaction. So we're still talking about a weaker storm moving into the Gulf of Mexico ahead of another cold front. Now, scenario 2 favors a stronger storm. That is one that kind of stays further in the middle of the Caribbean, moves kind of over Cuba and into South Florida, but it looks like that could become more the stronger scenario. So when we're talking scenarios, that's because still we don't exactly know where this is going to go. We have had November landfalling storms before. We had Nicole a few years ago, earlier in November, that came in from the Atlantic. So this has certainly been a trouble spot for us here in the Caribbean. We've had several storms kind of go through there, strengthen there, form in that zone. So that's why we really want to continue to closely monitor that. In the meantime, though, sit back, enjoy this beautiful weather. We certainly deserve it. We're going to be in those mid 70s this weekend. So if you have any outdoor plans or you have no plans at all, make them outdoors this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. But don't let your guard down completely. I know it's going to be feeling very festive. We've got hot Christmas decorations out. We've got, we're going to start basting those turkeys. We're going to be doing all of that. Just have to keep an eye on the tropics for a little longer. I have a sneaky suspicion this might be the last, kind of the final hurrah of the hurricane season. So we just kind of have to get through this and keep a close eye on it. But
yes,
we'll
so
be here.
close.
We'll be giving you all the updates as we get them in.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a nail biter, though, I'll admit.
I know.
So we'll hang
Believe
in there.
me, out of everybody in this newsroom, the last person who wants to talk about that is me.
Yeah.
If I can do 5 different graphics about how beautiful this weekend will be, I'd prefer that. But, it is what it is.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Candace. So we'll be watching for those updates with you. And now we want to get a check of the roads, and Trooper Steve over there, just over Candace's shoulder in the traffic center. Good morning.
Good morning. Things looking pretty good out there for the most part. It's a nice Wednesday. Little hiccups here and there, but nothing that's going to shut us down for the most part.
Cool. What are you up to today?
Today, I'll be out over in the municipality of Groveland. Some people, what happens is people send in complaints. Then I decide whether or not do we turn these into an Ask Trooper Steve or do we turn them into a Trooper Steve on patrol. This one, discussing bicycle lanes, and we have a complaint about people going the wrong way in bicycle lanes. So we're going to go out to the city of Groveland this morning at 10 a.m. and kind of talk about bicycle safety, see what we see out there, and then check out the infrastructure, and we'll talk about it. The main thing is whether a bicyclist should be flowing with traffic or against traffic, and can they be cited for it? So we're going to talk about that today at 10 a.m. over at clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, YouTube, and whatever else, where we're streaming, wherever else you can find us.
I wonder if you'll catch anyone out there like on their bike to talk to, like right in the midst of it.
That would be interesting, just to talk to them. I don't know. I have a weird relationship with bicyclists. I understand that we all need a right of way, but at the same time, there's just something about these bicycle packs when they're out and about and obeying minor traffic laws. So today's stream might be interesting. You might we have a clown counter now, Bridgett. I don't know if you knew about that.
Oh.
So instead of me losing my mind on the streams, I call people clowns. And if you do something crazy while the stream is happening, I'll call out, here we go, we got a clown, and then our producer Thomas Mates will actually hit the clown counter and a little clown pops up.
Okay.
Anytime I say that. So
is there like a
that's me keeping my sanity so I
involved
don't
in
get in trouble.
too?
All of it. It jumps up like a jack in the box. All of it. So you don't want to be a clown out on the roads.
But we look forward to you just catching it in action, because there's an endless supply.
Yesterday I caught some craziness. We were wrapping up, and then this guy was taken off from a deputy. And we watched the deputy take the bicyclist to the ground. The cavalry showed up. It was crazy.
Wow.
And I was like, sorry, Thomas. Thomas was like, no, that was good video.
You never know. You just never know what you might see. So we'll see you at 10 in Groveland.
So, yeah, let me give you a quick check of the roads real quick. That earlier crash off of Old Winter Garden has cleared out. The one on 408, don't worry about it. This is where we are concerned right now. Westbound 528, west of the airport, east of the turnpike, that little straightaway there, we do have a serious crash out there blocking 2 of your right travel lanes. I know it says 3, but they just updated it down to 2. But we are about a 2-mile backup as you're headed westbound. So please add some time. Now, if you're headed towards the airport, your drive times are great. 417 southbound at 528 to 436, only a 10-minute drive. Claremont, if you're headed towards the airport, about 40 minutes. And then leaving Kissimmee area from downtown Kissimmee towards the airport, about a 33-minute drive. That northbound delay will slow you down a little bit. Florida Turnpike looking good with a brief slowdown out by 417. This happens every single day. And then Kissimmee, 192. We already know Neptune and Earl Bronson, as you're making your way west towards the Turnpike, you're a little busy. Outside of that, we're doing good up in Volusia County, State Road 44, nice and clear. If you're headed to the beach, I don't know who's getting on the water, but things nice and clear. And then Daytona, you're also running pretty smooth. So for the most part, Bridgett, just watch out. 528s, we're seeing our biggest slowdowns this morning.
All righty. Thanks for the updates, and we'll see you in a little bit.
See ya.
See ya. All right, a few headlines now, and then we will come back and talk live about the Festival of Trees. But first, if you have not heard, the FAA made a move with suspending commercial flights to Haiti right now for the next 30 days after several flights were hit by gunfire. So out of a abundance of safety, they are halting all those flights. But, you know, of course, there's a whole lot of things impacted by that. So News 6's Mark Lehman has more on that.
Amid unrest and rising gun violence in Haiti, the FAA is now banning all U.S. airlines from flying to the country for the next 30 days. The move is happening after at least 3 planes were shot at. According to the U.S. Embassy, it's part of gang-led efforts to block travel to Haiti.
Sounded like somebody dropped a steel bowl of nails on the floor of the plane.
On Monday, a Spirit Airlines flight was flying over a neighborhood when bullets entered the cabin, forcing the pilot to divert to the neighboring Dominican Republic.
The pilot hit the gas and we took off and we accelerated.
Those on board were able to safely land back in Fort Lauderdale Monday night. The shootings were part of a wave of violence erupting in Haiti as the country swore in its new prime minister.
These sorts of things can happen in some of these countries where we have political unrest, where we have violence.
And so we're continuing to monitor all of that, and we'll keep you updated here on clickorlando.com. Also, a deadline coming up for those who are looking for help after Hurricane Milton. So there are some deadlines, and News 6's Angie Casada has more on how to apply and who's eligible.
The application deadline is Thursday, November 14th, so residents are encouraged to act quickly to take advantage of this temporary roofing solution.
And this is a temporary fix, roughly about 30 days against rain and light winds. So it's a great program for folks to take advantage of.
Major Corey Bell oversees the planning, construction, and operations of any projects in Central and South Florida. As a Florida native himself, he hears how the program impacts residents.
Last week, I went out to visit a homeowner, and she was just so appreciative of the support we were able to provide a roof with her. Within after the inspection, within 48 hours, we had a roof installed on her home, and it actually started sprinkling, and she was so grateful and thankful.
This service, funded through FEMA, is available only for a limited time to homeowners and residents who permanently occupy rental properties that live in counties affected by the storm.
You fill out your application. We'll have a QA that goes out and does the assessment to validate that request. And if it's validated, then we'll send it to our contractors, and usually within 48 hours, 72 hours, we'll come out and install that temporary roof on their home.
Operation Blue Roof is providing crucial support for Floridians working to rebuild after Hurricane Milton. But with just hours away remaining to apply, emergency leaders hope those in need will take advantage of this free service to protect their homes through the recovery process. In Orange County, Angie Casada, Getting Results, News 6.
All right, we're back at it again with Advent Health CentraCare to give you free flu shots. Today we are, we started earlier this week in Sanford, and so today we're in Orlando offering them at the CentraCare along University Boulevard. That's at 11550 University Boulevard in Orlando. And so that's happening from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. So anyone can stop by. If you can't make it today, come out to Claremont CentraCare tomorrow on East Highway 50 from 2 to 5 in the afternoon. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more about this year's Festival of Trees. Welcome back. We're excited to talk about another annual holiday tradition coming up in Central Florida. The Festival of Trees at Orlando's Museum of Art is kicking off this Friday. And with us this morning to talk all about the events, Allison Hudson and Stephanie Giordano. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was excited to hear more about the theme this year, Let the Joy of the Season Shine. So give us some background on the Festival of Trees history if people aren't familiar.
Oh, good morning. Thanks for having us, Bridget. I'm Allison Hudson. I currently serve as the president of Council 101. And for people that don't know who we are a women's organization that was founded almost 60 years ago. We celebrate our anniversary next year. And we're all women volunteers dedicated to promoting the visual arts in our community through our fundraising, education, and special events. And it's all financially supporting the Orlando Museum of Art. And believe it or not, the museum just turned 100 this year. So very, very exciting. And then the Festival of Trees has been around for we are in our 38th year this year. And it's a beloved 10-day holiday tradition hosted by us. The volunteers start working in July, start planning this event. And it's an elaborate event decorated with designer trees, wreaths, gingerbread houses, festive holiday items for sale. You get everything ready before Thanksgiving because people don't remember. A lot of times they think it's in December, but it's actually the week before, November every year. So it's a great way to kick off the holiday season.
Yeah, so it also gives you some inspiration, or even you can buy these trees. So do you get it at the end of the event? How does that work?
Steph, you want to kind of talk a little bit about that, or?
Yeah, of course. So, absolutely. So when you walk through the doors, it's magical and it's just holiday, you can just smell it. It's just holiday everywhere, all these details. But yes, the showstoppers are our 33 large and beautifully decorated trees. And then down this hallway, as you can see, we have wreaths and smaller trees as well. So 3 and 4 foot as well. So everyone can have a beautifully decorated, designer decorated tree or wreath in every one of their rooms if they want to. And they are for purchase. So that's wonderful. And then if you want to have maybe something that smells really good as well, we have gingerbread displays, and those are all created by beautiful artisans and local schools. So that's another touch that you can have in your home. And then some of these details you're seeing is our entertaining and design area, which has beautifully displayed tablescapes. And these are all part of our drawing and silent auction areas. So everything you see when you walk through the doors is festive and magical, and also for sale, because this is how we've raised over $14.5 million to date as part of Council 101, specifically for the Orlando Museum of Art. So you can come into our doors and feel good spending a little bit of money because it's going to a really great cause.
Now, there are many events surrounding this display, and so there's something for all ages.
All ages, that's right. So if you want to come to the Festival of Trees, to Allison's point, it is in November. So keep that in mind. And it runs for 10 days. So we are kicking it off with our tree view party, which is this Friday. It's an evening soiree. But daily admission starts on Saturday, November 16th, and it runs to November 24th. From 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. So make sure you stop by the Festival of Trees at the Orlando Museum of Art because we have magically transformed every inch, every gallery, every area into magical wonderness. We also have a cafe if anyone gets hungry, like my husband and my daughter do. So if anyone gets holiday hangry, you can pop into the cafe. That's open from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And so we just really welcome everyone that just loves the holidays and wants to get a jump start.
It's a great photo op too. These days people want to go places where they can take some really nice photos. So this could be a good place to get some pictures together and have that festive look, maybe if you haven't gotten all your decorations up yet.
Definitely. Stephanie can attest because I think her daughter's, she's been coming almost every year to get photos done with Santa. And this year we have something a little extra design as well as other designers. And this year it's a spectacular fabricated tree locally. It's made of metal.
Oh,
It's gold and it's 14 feet tall. It's going to have crystals and shine, glitter, sparkles, and it is for sale. So it's a piece of art. It can be completely deinstalled and taken apart and packaged, which is very unusual for the trees that we usually have in the Rotunda area. So very excited about that. And I don't know if last year you saw the Barbie tree that one of our designers created. It was a huge hit because there's always things that are happening in the world that are very popular during this time. And this year we're going to have a Taylor Swift themed tree. So
okay.
it's gonna be a really big pull into the museum. It's going to be a great experience.
So there are things for sale sort of all over. Is there just like more of an auction type sale for some of these items? So you need to get in on a certain day to make sure you can bid on it, or how does it work?
So we do have an auction, and this year the large trees will be on the auction for the first time. In the past, they have actually been where you can just come in and purchase them, and all the way up to the end of the event. And sometimes the prices got reduced. And so this year we're doing it a little bit different. And so we are putting them in the auction. There is a buy it now price. So we tell people, if you really, really love that tree, you can go ahead and click the button, or that day you're there, buy it at the buy it now price and be done with it. But this is where people can shop for these trees from their home, across the country, that kind of stuff. Now, we do have our small recent trees, which are actually in our Deck the Halls area, which is put on by our provisionals. These are the new members that are coming in to learn about council. And they're the ones that go out and solicit the designers for the smaller recent trees. And those are going to be purchased on site. So those are a little bit less, pricey compared to the other trees, but there's going to be something for everyone. Definitely auction items. The gingerbread houses will be on the auction site. So even if you're not at the museum that day, you can continue to kind of bid on items. And then that Friday or that Sunday at 5 p.m., we'll close everything down and then start calling people who have won either auction item or even the drawing that we have, which is where you can put in the tickets that are $1 into the items of your favorite choice. You could win something really big. So.
And do you need a separate ticket, or can, like, if you just want to stop by between between the 16th and the 24th, do you need a separate ticket to go to the Festival of Trees displays, or is it like included in your museum ticket? How do tickets work?
Right. So admission includes while Festival of Trees is going on, since we're taking over the Orlando Museum of Art, it's kind of a 2-for-1 actually. So you get admission to the Orlando Museum of Art and the Festival of Trees. It's a $20 admission for general admission. For seniors, military, or children, it's a $12 ticket. You can buy them at eventbrite/festivalofTrees.com. Or you can purchase your general admission tickets right at the door as well. That's no problem. Just come on straight to the museum and we'll get you in there. We just want you to enjoy yourself and bring your family. Everyone loves to dress up in their festive holiday attire, take photos. Sometimes their traditional holiday family photo is taken during the festival around our trees every year, which is such a lovely tradition. We do have a toy shop for kids to just go crazy in, or maybe you want to get some stocking stuffers a little bit early. We've got you covered. We also have some local boutiques doing pop-up shops as well. So we have really beautifully curated, kind of locally artisan kind of vibe and feel going on. So if you want something more on that scale and more just something different and unique and whimsical, and all of our trees and everything that you see is like designer quality and designer designed. So it's really a spectacular thing to see.
Yes.
Whether you are able to purchase one of the trees and bring that home and have that in your home, or maybe you just seek inspiration. I was so inspired from setting up over the weekend. I put my tree up already. I haven't decorated it yet.
Yes.
But, you just can't help but get in the mood.
It does help out when you see some of these different color combos and textures, and then you get ideas and you're just sort of energized to go ahead and get started on the decorating. So this is fabulous, and we wish that it will be another successful year. We know it's a major fundraiser for the Orlando Museum of Art. So love this information. Thank you for sharing with us this morning, ladies. Is there any more info that you want to share before we go?
I do want to say thank you to many of our many sponsors, specifically Orlando Health. They've actually been our presenting sponsor for the last 4 years. It's just been tremendous to work with them. They're always so generous with us. And I just also want to say, like when Stephanie was talking about people still being able to see the artwork in the museum, we really do try to work and have a combination of festivities, but also kind of, let people that normally may not come to the museum see some of the exhibits that are still going on. And one of the things too, we have a lot of local artists that will have art in our auction. So you'll have a chance to maybe bid on some artwork that you normally wouldn't actually see. So we are an art museum, so we're all about, promoting the artists locally.
Yes. Well, this is a wonderful time of year. And like you said, maybe if you're not familiar with the museum, a great time to come and check it out and get acquainted with the museum and also supporting it as well. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for being with us to tell us about Festival of Trees, and hope to see you out there.
All right. Thanks.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Happy holidays. Take care.
You too.
So, we're in full swing now. If you go see that Festival of Trees, maybe you go pick up some decorations out there, get some ideas for decorating. Sounds like a lot of fun starting this Friday. So that's going to do it for us. We'll see you at noon for more news and weather, and tomorrow at 7:30 for more breakfast. Have a great day.